So the newest Call of Duty just came out and I wanted to buy it. I was planning on purchasing it, so I asked my next door neighbor about it. He had pre-ordered it and has been playing it for a couple of days non-stop. Now, also keep in mind that my neighbor is a 12-year-old boy, and I sort of feel sorry for him. He has terrible parents and they are low-life pricks. They work at this local gas station and they're meth heads. I don't even think they care for the child. Anyways, he said it has changed and improved from the last game, which I thought was disappointing, so I decided to purchase it. I started playing it, and the next day I got kinda into the story, but then I switched to multiplayer. I enjoyed that as well, but stopped playing after an hour or so. That night I heard screaming from my neighbor's apartment. Me and a couple of other neighbors went over and checked it out. It was the boy playing that game. I mean, it was really kinda stupid, but he's just a kid after all. So I went back to my apartment and slept. For the next 2 weeks this happened randomly in the night. The kid didn't come out of his apartment, people filed complaints because the noise was too much, and still nothing happened. Later on in the week I realized he was leaving for school, so I looked out my window to see what he was going to do. He quickly hid in a bush outside, waiting for his parents to leave. After they sped off, he went back to his apartment to play. It had gone too far, I thought. But that night I woke up to screaming again. Only this time it wasn't him. It was his father. The father ripped his Xbox out of his room and tossed it out in the street. He stomped it and threw it at the apartment complex. There was a constant screaming until about midnight. I figured the little kid gave up and fell asleep. I felt good that his family did something for once, even though it was really overkill. I went back to my bedroom after this ordeal to get ready to go to sleep yet again. That's when I heard footsteps coming from my apartment. I grabbed a baseball bat that I had hid in my room, opened my door, and slowly walked out in the hallway. I saw the shadow of a small boy, but it vanished. I was really creeped out. I was shaking and scared. This kid, he broke into my apartment to play this game. What is wrong with him? How addicted is he? But that's not what creeped me out the most. What creeped me out even more is that my house only had one entrance, and that was locked. None of my windows are able to be opened, so how did he get in? I slowly walked to the end of my hallway and looked left. I cringed my teeth and slowly looked right. Then, out of the corner of my eye, the door from my room closed. I turned around and ran down my hallway, stopping at my door. I slowly opened it, and nothing was there. The game was on. It wasn't before. Someone had turned it on. I was about to cry. Then there was a flicker in the lights, and I hear a woman's voice say, "It's time to go." Then instantly the lights went off, my TV powered off for a second. Everything stopped. I, as most people would, ran like hell down my hallway, unlocked my door, and left my apartment. The cops were at the apartment complex, and they had 2 body bags out, and the father of the boy was getting arrested. What could have happened? I walked down and asked the police officers what happened, but they just said police business and that it surely would be on the news. The next night I was watching the news, and the newscaster said, "A boy in northern Colorado tried to commit suicide for an unknown reason and was killed by his father in the process. The mother saw what her husband had done and called the police. Then the father shot her, killing his wife and child." This was 10 months ago, and since then I've moved into another apartment, but every now and then I'll hear the kid's voice and a console turn on.